Who is Mysterio? It's a mystery. Okay, it's not. It's this guy, Quentin Beck. Welcome to Exasperated Nerd Explains. Today, we are doing a character spotlight on Mysterio, a character you may have seen in trailers for Spider-Man Far From Home, with a slight upgrade in the facial features area. Now, I haven't read any spoiler reviews for the movie and have just seen the trailers, but I'll say there are some potential spoilers for the movie based on the ad and the history of the character. Clear? Good. Mysterio is a bad guy. Alright, thanks for watching. This is... No. So, like I said, Mysterio's real name is Quentin Beck. And in his debut, he pretended to be a hero and framed Spider-Man for a bank robbery. Pretending to be a hero. Anyways, he develops tech to mimic Spider-Man's powers, so he can impersonate him while committing crimes. Then he sets up a fight, and after beating him, they throw him a parade and call him a hero. As he explains, in an incriminating monologue recorded by Spider-Man, he is a failed special effects artist and stuntman who decided to turn to crime, which is really a shame considering he's able to trick people into thinking that things are real in person, let alone on a movie or TV screen. Alas, he has no powers, apart from the power of magic. And even though there's legit magic in the Marvel Universe, he has like Saw Woman and half stage magic with a kick of comic book world fantastical elements. Essentially, he uses tricks.
Illusion, Michael. Trick is something a whore does for money. Or cocaine.
Illusions with special effects via chemicals, drugs, robots, and hypnosis to confuse, attack, or distract while committing crimes. Really, it's just a bunch of fancy lies. He's been around for a while and been up to all sorts of mischief. He's an original member of the Sinister Six, a group of usually 6 supervillains dedicated to ruining Spider-Man's day. He convinces everyone he's a world-famous psychiatrist and almost convinces Spider-Man to unmask himself to relieve himself from apparent schizophrenia that Spider-Man thinks he's suffering from due to Mysterio's machinations. And later we learn all he had to do was become his friend and convince him it was the right thing to do, but that's a separate issue. He makes Spider-Man believe he is 6 inches tall through hypnosis, which is quite the feat. I mean, at this point you think he'd realize he doesn't have actual magic and couldn't do this, but, you know, he just doesn't. He fakes Aunt May's death using the same alias as when he was a psychiatrist, and this time without even bothering to wear a disguise. Spider-Man fails to realize this for a lot longer than he should. Mysterio even said he amassed $8 million before this point, so I guess he's really just doing this to mess with Spider-Man? He makes Spider-Man think he's being erased at one point, before he remembers, oh yeah, that's probably not right, he has no magic. He goes through a smoky head phase in the 90s, which I guess maybe it was a thing? Quentin Beck develops a brain tumor and lung cancer from a lifetime of being around his myths, drugs, and special effects while he's in prison, so they decide to give him an early release. It is for realsies though, and not a trick. Anyways, during this time, there's a whole big hullabaloo about Spider-Man maybe being a clone and not the real Spider-Man, which is partially true as there was a bunch of Peter Parker clones running around. So, as his grand finale, he decides to screw with Daredevil instead of screwing with potentially a fake Spider-Man. Using some drugs and tricks...
I don't have time for your magic tricks.
Illusions, Dad. You don't have time for my illusion.
He almost drives Daredevil crazy, making him think a child is either the Second Coming or the Antichrist. So, all in all, a fun time. Mysterio confesses everything to Daredevil, hoping to push him over the edge. He wants to be killed, but instead, Daredevil just insults him a bunch, calling him a fraud who's repeating the same tricks again and again, being completely unoriginal. He really just bullies a dying man. So, Beck shoots himself in the face. Some other Mysterios pop up, but then so does Beck again, looking a little worse for wear. He tells everyone his superiors in hell sent him back to Earth, but you know, I guess cosmetic surgeries aren't a part of the deal. And then the next time he pops up and he's all better, making jokes with no real explanation, so that's comic books. He works for and then manipulates himself into leading the Mafia by controlling a robot version of their old boss. He also manages to convince Spider-Man that he is responsible for the deaths of multiple henchmen. He gets all mopey about it until he realizes it's all fake. Mysterio joins the Sinister Six again, and they get up to no good. But Spider-Man convinces him that Dr. Octopus, who is also dying at this point, won't honor their arrangement as part of his plan is about destroying the world. So, he allies himself with Spider-Man to stop Doc Ock. He helps free the Avengers from some robotic mind control devices, and then decides to skedaddle. It's revealed that between the Prime Marvel Comic Universe and the Ultimate Marvel Comic Universe, there's only one Mysterio. The Ultimate Universe was a comic line created by Marvel in hopes of drawing in new readers with new takes on classic characters where anything could happen without being bogged down in continuity. It turns out he switches between universes and has a robot-controlled avatar that stays behind in the Ultimate Universe. This is where Peter Parker and Miles Morales first meet. Mysterio projects his soul into limbo to torture Spider-Man after Deadpool kills him for a little bit. He gets better. Beck moves to Las Vegas and retires. But then he gains the power of Cyttorak. I don't know if I've ever heard that spoken. Anyways, powers from the guy who gave Juggernaut his powers. He does this by accidentally killing his daughter. Whoopsie. She had started a ritual intending to kill him, though, to gain this power for herself, so no real loss? He loses this power too when his hand is cut off by one of those cloned Spider-Mans. Though, next time you see him, his hand is fine, so I don't know. Look, it's easy to retcon everything with this guy since his power is basically making you believe illusions. He creates a massive fake alien invasion, and at his trial is confronted by someone who claims to be the person who brought him back from hell. He shows up in a mental institution and is recruited to help kill heroes because in an alternate universe storyline called Old Man Logan, he convinces Wolverine he's under attack and tricks him into killing off all the X-Men. He knows he's going to be betrayed by his villainous allies, so he betrays them first and goes back to the Psych Ward, retiring as Mysterio. Again. Next you see him, he's being interviewed by the psychiatrist in full costume who is trying to convince him that he never actually died. The nefarious, mysterious person shows back up and kills him, so Beck can't reveal his identity to Spider-Man. This literally just happened last week in the comics. So I'm sure he's dead forever now, and there will be no more Mysterio appearances ever. This is it, guy. This is it. This is for real this time. I'm super serious. He is totally dead. Anyway, some things in this history look to coincide with the new movie, so we'll see what happens. He may be faking these attacks to appear as the big hero while actually being behind them. Maybe he's from the other dimension, this version. Who knows? Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the movie. Bye.